Hi Scorpio, how are you? I am here to do your 12 house check-in and tarot spread and an astro discussion, okay? I won't be hitting all the houses. I will hit all the houses in the spread, due to time. I won't go into a huge discussion on all the houses. I'll take a look at all the major aspects, okay? I did a preliminary spread for you guys on Uranus's retrograde, which is going through your 7th house, which is ruled by Taurus, your 7-7 sign, okay? And you guys pulled with self, which is very poignant because whenever you're dealing with a 1st and 7th house access point, it's always the balance in a partnership between the self and others. Okay, so you pulled here with self, so there may be like some questioning, and these can go into business relations as well. It's not just marriages and long-term live-in partners, things of this nature. Okay, this is in retrograde now, so I do feel like there is a rebalancing going on. Okay, in one sort or another, you're pulling here with the 1st house with the temple. I feel like somebody else pulled in the 1st house of the temple. I'll think of it. I'll think of it, or I'll go check it on a break when I get some tea. I have some tea here. My girlfriend gave me the cup, and it's like a joke cup, so I don't know if I'm gonna drink it on YouTube. Anyways, okay. For my 2nd house, for my Scorpio. Anyways, Uranus is in retrograde, as are a lot of it. You're pulling here with a shaman in the 2nd house. So some of you could be healers. Some of you could get your income from healing, or some of you may just be reinvesting in yourselves with some sort of healing here that's going on, or some sort of, because 2nd house also rules what we value. It is the natural ruler for a natural home base for Taurus, okay? But the shaman appearing here, is either something very healing about what you do. If you're in a creative field, what you put out there heals others, whether it be music or writing or whatever, or you could actually be a healer of some sort, or you could be reevaluating or revaluing, okay, because 2nd house also deals with what we value, and you may be putting more emphasis and value on self-care in a way, or investment in self-care in that kind of way right now, okay? You're popping here in the 3rd house with the river, all right, which is very apropos for you right now. You guys have Capricorn is your 2nd house, and Pluto, the modern ruler of Scorpio, is at the tail end of that house currently, okay? So I'm just gonna lay everything out, and then I'm gonna take a look at the chart and then go over it. You're pulling here with the Judge on the 4th house, okay, which is where Saturn is currently, and Saturn is creating a square to Uranus in partnership. So there might be something that's going on in regards to home here. Some of you could be going through some sort of divorce, or some sort of judgment, or some sort of, whether it's judging yourself or others, or reevaluation of what home means to you, especially with Saturn, okay, going through Aquarius. Saturn through Aquarius is much different than Saturn through Capricorn, and yet it's very it still has a lot of Saturnian aspects of wanting stabilization and these types of things, and home could have felt anything but stable, all right, over the course of when Uranus is squaring it, or a restabilization, destabilization of some sort that's been rather significant has popped for you guys. You guys are popping here with Eros, okay, and the 5th house, which I love for you, because that is, the 5th house is joy, creativity, and romance, okay? So some of you may be particularly sexy, which a Scorpion can be anyway, or have somebody that you're highly attracted to come in for you, okay, whether they're there now or not. We're going to explore it, okay? I'm going to take a look at the issues that I see. I'm going to use oracles. I'm also going to use tarot spreads on certain access points, okay, after I pull your whole thing. Here, it's just dependent on each side how many I pull. You're pulling here with the sustainer in the 6th house, all right, and you guys have, like, yeah, it's like you guys have Jupiter and Chiron, the wounded healer, going through the 6th house of Aries, Okay, so you guys may be very, very driven. And again, I'm getting service, especially if you're doing anything with service. All right, there may be something that you're doing in particular with your health right now to really sustain your workload in one way or another, or reevaluating things on that front. Okay, there's something here. I'll look at it. Let me lay the rest, and then I need my 8th. I'm not pulling the 7th house since we already have that. Okay, I did a full moon reading, which is in effect for the next 2 weeks, time stamped for every single sign. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check your sun, moon, rising, Venus, whatever it is you normally check, definitely go ahead and do that. It's loaded into 2 parts. You're pulling here with the 1 in the 8th house. Okay, 8th house is Scorpio's natural home plate. Okay, so I do feel like there's an emphasis on legacy and inheritance or something like this right now for you guys, especially with Mars, your Greek Hellenistic ruler, going through Gemini, which rules your 8th house. If you're a true Scorpio rising, if you're in here like any other regular horoscope, they always interpret a regular horoscope as if you are a rising with Scorpio on the 1st house. That's why I'm always emphasizing for you guys, especially in these 12 house readings, that you check your sun and your rising. That's what's going to matter the most, especially your rising, for these 12 house check-ins and discussions that I do. Okay, whereas normally I tell you guys to check, you know, sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node dependent. These specialty 12 house spreads will most apply to your rising and your sun. I do feel like some of you are in the public eye or have somebody in the public eye coming in towards you. Okay, you're pulling here with Starborn in the 11th house. Okay, that is a house of good spirit and also wider networks, and it is ruled by Virgo for you. And you have Venus going through there currently. Again, Venus is associated with your 7th house. All right, so you may have a partner come in that has some star quality, or you have some star quality. All right, and you know, you guys have there's mutual reception between Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo right now, and Venus, and you know, so the ruler of Mars, as well as the ruler of Gemini, where Mars is, okay, as well as Virgo is in the 12th house right now. So you guys may have like a big focus, or feel like you're getting a lot of creative messages, especially if you are creators, okay, coming from a very deep place in you. Like if you are a night owl, you might get, you know, your best things at night, okay. You may have a focus on prayers right now, or trying to connect with like your lost ancestors or something of this sort. There could just be a lot of so for others of you, you could have communications that are under the radar or rather secretive in nature, okay. And these could affect, two came out in the 12th house, so I'll keep them both, okay. And it's the father and the vessel, okay. Some of you may be fathers, maybe like expecting or something like this, or thinking about fatherhood, if you, or your father, especially if he's passed, okay. There's something here. Others of you may be working on shadow issues in regards to your own father, okay, in one sense or another here. All right, I'm getting very strongly for you, or just have a lot of memories of your father going through your head in one way or another here, especially, but with the vessel and the father, it's like some of you may be dealing with, you know, becoming new fathers, or you know, or if you're a feminine, dealing with fertility, or contemplating having children yourself. Others of you, I think, maybe dealing with some old wounding and things of this sort, okay. I'm going to go over it, all right. All right, but I do see in this 11th house with the Starborn there, that being very fortuitous for you guys. If you are in a creative field where you are working on a larger scale, it might be very, very beneficial to you. The 11th house was known as the house of good spirit. And again, you have Venus going through there right now, the sun going through there right now. So you may have a lot of blessings coming in. Okay. Furthermore, some of them may be unexpected in one way or another because they are, there is a trine from Venus to Uranus right now, okay? And again, Uranus is in the 7th house, so you may have a contract come in that was rather unexpected or something like this, where you're getting on the right path or your paths are aligning or something of this sort, okay? Especially with the true node going through the 7th house, okay? Some of you may have had some breakups in marriages or live-in partnerships or had people come in that then exited, because Uranus can bring in relationships that are not long lasting, but very hot and heavy in the beginning, or like a lightning bolt, fast, quick relationship, and then they leave. And that may have happened over the course of it going through, of Uranus going through your 7th house, okay, since 2017 or 18, okay. Others of you may have just had significant changes with long-term contracts and partnerships, okay, and business as well, because 7th house can rule business relations as well, okay, and contracts related to long-term business dealings, okay. But I do think it's going to continue for you, all right, while Uranus goes through Taurus. However, when since the true nodes, all right, for this year have also started going through the node, the south node being in your sign and the north node being in partnerships, there's a heavier emphasis on realigning your partnerships and your marriages or long-term commitments, okay? That seems very meant to be right now, and that is because of the north node now very close in conjunction with Uranus, all right? Setting off a lot of really helpful aspects. You guys do have Saturn in the 4th house. So like I said, there's a lot of responsibilities or emphasis on the home, reevaluation of what stabilization and duties mean in that regard. Okay. And it is coming into, gonna come into a tighter square all the way from now through October when it meets in a tighter square. Okay. So that can create tensions around the home, especially if you are in a marriage. Because there may be some tensions between those 7th house areas, which for you does deal with marriages, and the 4th house, okay? That said, it doesn't mean that, you know, just because it's a square, it's not always bad. A square is a challenge, but it's a challenge when met, can wind up better than it's ever been, okay? In one way or another. And I do see for a lot of the zodiac wheel and the zodiac signs, I've seen a lot of change. I'm very interested in this Eros that you guys have here. And if you guys are in the spotlight in one way or another, I just feel like you have a lot of creativity and attraction right now, especially with Eros opposing the 5th house here. You have the mountain in your 10th house. That's the house of career. So I do feel like some of you have a lot of challenges at work, and it doesn't mean it's bad. It can be actually good. Anything you have in Leo, if you have personal placements in Leo, like a rising or a moon, those will also be making a square to Uranus, okay? That would create like a T-square between your house of home and your house of career. So that would make these issues I'm discussing right now a little bit more tense. The square a little bit more tense, because you would actually let off, you know, issues where like home and career conflict with each other or something, or you don't have enough time to take care of your responsibilities at home, or there's extra duties or something of this nature. I'm not looking at all your personal charts when I'm reading for thousands of you, but I just wanted to mention that in case you have a Leo rising or moon, that it would create a T-square between Uranus and Saturn, okay? Let's see, you have the river here in the 3rd house, okay? So I do feel like, again, there's issues with the 3rd house being a very rich place and a very emotional place. If you have communications right now, they may be very emotive, and a Scorpio is very emotive. He or she doesn't share it with everybody, but they're a very emotional, deep well of emotions when it comes to a Scorpio, okay? Here in the Ninth house, you have the forest. So there might be something in regards to higher philosophy, higher learning, or something of this nature here. And if you're at school or studying something new, or traveling, I expect it to be very rich and rewarding for you, okay, around this time, all right, with this appearing here. And again, with this one here, in the 8th house, I do feel as if you guys are trying to either tap into some collective unconsciousness or something, or feel in conjunction with that, especially when you guys have the Temple, which is also a very tapped in card here on the 1st house. Here popping, that's something really, you may be treating your body as a temple if you are like engaged in new ways of caring for yourself as well, or it may be very, very important for you now to take really, really good care of your body in one sense or another, especially if you have a lot of duties at work, okay? But with the one appearing here, and again, like I said, through your 8th house, which is a house that you're normally associated with, you do have Mars running through there. So, and that is your Hellenistic ruler. So I do see a lot of passion in those areas, okay? I'm going to pull on a couple things here. I want to pull on this 6 and I'm going to pull a quick spread on this 12th house here. I want to know about this 12th house with the Father and the vessel here. Some of you, hold on. Give me the Father and the vessel. Some of you may be literally dealing with or considering some sort of fertility treatments or things of this nature, even if you do not have a counterpart to make a baby with, something like this, but want one and can take care of one, something of this sort, okay? Others of you, hold on, I want to pull on this. Others of you may be dealing with issues of some sort of deception or a lot of pain to do with your father, okay? Or something here, or with somebody else that you were dealing with, okay? That could have been rather treacherous. That was very, very hurtful, okay? I'm pulling here with the 2 of Rods, the King of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, and the Devil. Which is a hell of a pull on this one house, okay? And it's not going to, be apropos for everyone. I just think that some of you here, and you may be really communicating or dealing with these issues, especially with Mercury in Libra, which is the sign of fairness and balance and equality, all right? And you may be examining issues of fairness and balance and equality, and either speaking on these issues or getting some sort of help on these issues or creatively applying them in your own life or something of this sort here. And especially if you guys had something here where I feel like there was some sort of offer here, okay, having to do with a father figure or dealing with a father figure, something that was underhanded. Some of you may have felt like your father wasn't around, or that he betrayed or deceived your family or something of this sort here, all right, and that there was devil-like behavior or some sort of lies, deception, and or cheating or addiction, codependency issues here of one sort or another that are really internally bothering you, okay, right now, in regards to something. I'm going to pull a little bit extra on this because it's kind of rather intense. The 5 of Swords is a win by any means type theme, and I'm popping here with a King of Pentacles, and I feel as if King of Pentacles is representative of Taurus, okay, Capricorn or Virgo. And with Uranus in this area, if you guys had somebody come in that could have had Taurus prominent in their chart that made you an offer, but was screwed you over in some way. It could have been for a business deal, okay? It could have been for something of this sort here. But there wound up being some really vindictive behavior in regards to it, or something of this sort. But with this Seven of Swords here, there's an indicator here that like you need to clean up your side of the street if this is resonating, or you're dealing with these issues right now internally, all right, so that you can avoid the same behavior. Like if you, some sort of thing here, hold on. I'm gonna pull some more on this. Give me this Five of Swords. Let me pull a different deck. I don't want to say like maybe you're some sort of masculine energy here made a deal with the devil or something, but like there's something that you're examining pretty heavily here in this area that's been really, really difficult. This may have been something that you walked away from, and maybe an old love relationship or some sort of loss, okay, dealing with a divine feminine figure, or again, some communications about some sort of walk away or emotional leave, or you communicating about these things. On the Five of Swords, I got the Mother of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. So those of you that went through a breakup of some sort or another, or you know, that was really vindictive or something like this, have walked away from that, but you may just be having communications or issues where you're really like reevaluating things, or they may just be on your mind. Ten of Pentacles, it could have to do with legacy and family here, okay? Give me this Seven of Swords. On the Seven of Swords, I get the Mother of Wands, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and the Father of Wands. For those of you that were involved with a fire sign or have fire in your chart, there may have been some decision that was made, or you need to drop a decision, or you're faced with a decision where you feel like something is not right or off. And the advice from the universe of how you can help this situation along, if you're dealing with a situation like this, is to get out or not. There may be some lies, deception, or juggling that you find out about. Or this may have been you, or you may be dropping somebody where there was something very toxic, or a decision that was very toxic, or something of this sort here, okay? On the Devil, I get Temperance, Death, and the Four of Wands. So I do feel as if some of you again may be reprocessing something and going through a massive transformation on some sort of behavior here. And the advice from the universe is that there is support to transform the situation and your major foundations if this has affected you. If you tap in, and I feel as if those of you that this applies to are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and the inkling that you're getting is coming from a very internal level on something off here, okay? And you do have protection if you do that, okay? If you choose to transform something. And for those of you that are in a marriage that is turned toxic, that want to save it, there is protection for that to either transition and or for you, if you can't transition the relationship, then you're going to leave it. And there may be an ending there. Okay, for those of you that can, you will transform it. But there's something here about lies and deceit that needs to be transformed here, okay? That's heavily on your mind, okay? It could be in a business partnership, does not have to be in a love relationship, okay? I see signs for Capricorn, and then again with these things running over your, with what's going on in your 7th house could also have to do with, hold on. I see some fire and like some sort of dropping. You could have, and for some of you that are dealing with like a pregnancy, or you felt like somebody tricked you into a pregnancy or something like this could also play out in this way. Give me this King of Pentacles here. I feel like you guys are healing from this, whatever it is. I feel like it was a dirty thing or dirty offer, or, you know, changing something very deep inside yourself, okay? That you're healing from, or your own wounds of abandonment, because I have the 5 of Pentacles here in reverse, Father of Swords in reverse, and the Star in the upright. So again, some of these could be old, painful wounds that you're dealing with at this time, that came from your parents or your childhood, or that you've actually experienced in your own life. Okay, but it's coming up pretty heavy. These are pretty heavy stars here, cards here, pretty heavy. All right, for those of you that this has to do with a business relationship, could be between an earth sign and something with some air in it, okay? And there could be some healing here going on, all right? Or you're being called to make an offer to heal a situation or something of this sort, okay? I'm going to put these to the side and use it, and just in case I want to reference them again in your reading, because I want to pull several other spreads for you, okay? I don't want to just keep all the focus on this one area. It looks pretty intense. I'm going to do a singled and troubled in love reading, which is a quicker reading. You know, definitely may want to check that reading out if you guys are going through some specifics right now, okay? I want to pull on this. I want to pull on this Eros. I want to pull on this right here. You guys just had a full moon, all right, in your 5th house of romance. So romance, something very special, or your urethral or something like this could be going on for you guys romantically right now. Or you may have a partner or new prospect come in the next 2 weeks, or you may just be spending special time on a creative project or romance, all right, and have heightened emotions around those, because the full moon would be in Pisces, which is your 5th house, okay, of romance, creativity, and children, all right? And again, it's opposing the 11th house where Venus is. And I do feel like if it's a creative project, there's something very sexy about it. And it may have to do with your business or your own creativity, if that's what you guys do, in any form. Or, you know, if you're performers, there may just be something very, or if you're a writer, there may just be something very attractive about the material you create right now, okay? Give me this, I'm gonna pull a quick Celtic cross on this, Eros and Starborn here. Okay, for others of you, again, I feel like you may meet a mate, all right, through your networks or through 5th house, that you're very hot for, all right, if you do, all right. For others of you, I feel like this is going to apply to you, and blessings that come in through the 11th house, and, you know, that bless your 5th house as well, here, all right. And I think there's a, that which is part of the mystic triangle, yeah. There was a big mystic triangle. So I do feel like if it is a creative project, it's something, some skill you've had for a very long time that you may be channeling in a new way. Or, you know, if you've been looking, I also, sorry, battery pack change, Scorp. I also wanted to mention that this father and the vessel thing could also play out as, like, let's say you know, you're happily coupled or something of this sort, or, and you're, you know, a gay male, and you know, you identify a surrogate, or looking for a surrogate, or thoughts about getting one are on your mind. This could also play out in this way. I see this here. It's just is. Anyways, if whatever it is that you do, I feel like networking is going to be very strong. The growth of that right now is going to be very strong for you. I feel like you're either headed towards the top of a hill with your career, and again, that is ruled by that that is taken up by the house of Leo for you, all right, where there were some squares. And if you have anything in Leo, you could have an especially strong time right now, and blessings, all right, for you here, all right. Others of you, I do see that there may be some sort of court process here, okay, with the judge appearing in the 4th house. If you've been through a divorce or anything like that, especially with Uranus going through the 7th, okay, you could, you know, be wrapping up some sort of parenting plans or some sort of thing, or premarital, postmarital contracts, things of this nature here, that could affect your home, or considering them, or something like this, or have some sort of dispute over real estate which or a home which requires you to get a ruling in regards to, okay, to make more secure, okay. I just want to pull on this, give me on this Eros and this Starborn here. I'm going to pull a quick spread here. I do feel like some of you guys had a past thing in the past that you thought was going to be the end all be all, your ultimate emotional happiness here in the past, okay? And I feel like you're thinking of moving towards forward progress in those areas, okay? With the Chariot appearing down here, all right? And you're thinking about making action. It could be towards someone, or it could be just in your house of creative projects and networks if you have no children. That is very, very fortuitous right now. You may meet somebody that you have a lot of passion for. Hold on a second. For those of you that did have a, hold on. Okay. The Devil in reverse came out on this 5th and 11th house. So I do feel like those of you that were dealing, that are something here that you're dropping, either a partnership or bondage of some sort, something that's tied you up in the past, or codependency or addiction issues. Some of you may have just be watching those things within yourself, okay, and with others right now. Okay, and you may have somebody come along, okay, that is very fortuitous for this. Hold on. All right, something that you have a lot of passion for, okay. I do show, hold on. If you are working on a creative project right now, I do feel like you guys are going to get an offer. I do feel like there's a heavy weight if you're communicators or performers of any sort right now, that there's very, very heavy burdens on you, or you've driven a long path, and maybe one contract ends, but another will come in that's better for you, whether that be a partnership or a relationship. Okay, there may have been some toxic relationship in the past here that you're coming out of, all right? There may be somebody in, hold on. What's crossing this? Yeah, I feel like you guys, if you are in a service-oriented field and you feel like you're burning yourself out, okay, or there's just been a lot of burdens, if you just hang on a little bit longer, that you're going to have a lot of fortuitous change here, okay. And for those of you that don't believe in love anymore, which Scorpio is one of the deepest lovers ever, okay, but when you've been burned, you can kind of get a little jaded, and I'm speaking only in stereotypes here, but be scared of love again, you know. I do not show that as a sign for you here. I think for a lot of you that this 5th and 11th house is related to children, creativity, and something, you know, very, very fortuitous here. Hold on a second. Give me this. I do show here The environment around you, I have the Hermit, okay, which is like introspection, but it's also tied to Virgo. And again, I feel as if on this, I pulled clarifiers, and some of you may have been in a period of hermit mode here in one way or another, or somebody else may have, okay, and there may be somebody around you in manifestation mode right now. That is resting. If you had questions about them, you know, that feels a little bit wounded, but they're like trying to manifest something else. All right. This may be very hidden from you at this time, or something of this nature here. Okay. Hold on. Why is the Nine of Wands here? There may be someone that comes in, again, that's very, very sexy, that again can turn into something longer term, but you know, your challenge is going to be to take your time and take a deep breath so you don't turn away your good opportunities. If one comes along, like, don't say no to everything at first glance or something of this sort here, okay? I feel like there's something that's going to come in here that may be unexpected, which can happen with Uranus going through your 7th house, okay, especially when it's letting off all these other aspects, all right? Give me this shaman here. I do feel like there's some sort of redistribution of give and take, and it may be in an income source, or you may be healing or actually, you know, getting some sort of, if you have dealt with some sort of issues where the give and take was off balance at work or in contracts, you know, or something of this sort here, you may be healing from this at this time. But I do see you being able to tap in and really give back something that you guys do for, you know, income, or what you value has undergone like a transition or a change, that you actually want to distribute like the give and the take there in some way, or give back, or something of this sort here is going on here. This is pretty heavy, Scorpio. Give me this. Did I expect less than heavy with the Scorpio? No. Give me the Judge over here. Again, on this Judge, I am popping up with the 7 of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Queen of Pentacles. So again, for those of you that have had a divorce or some sort of domesticated partnership that broke up, I'm sorry. I do see it being rather emotional for you because of the investment that you put in. But it will heal, or there may, again, be something, what is the Moon here? I have the 7 of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, could be related to somebody with Earth in their chart, does not have to be. I also have Pisces showing up here, and or Cancer, all right, and it's some sort of, there's a lot of emotions around this here, Scorpio. Give me the Moon. Feel like somebody either feels like rather abandoned, or you felt abandoned by a certain person in the home. It could be in your parental home. It could be in an actual home you had, and something crossing that axis, which was rather hard. And I do show you need to release your emotions about that, okay, and recognize them, okay. There may have been some sort of decision here. Or you may feel like there's a lack of emotional fulfillment in the home, or something of this sort here, or that there was something that was hidden from you, or there's just like getting in touch with emotions here. And you have the time to do that with all these major planets in retrograde right now. Everybody does. Just the way and where you have it is a little bit different, but I do see you guys doing a major reevaluation on these fronts or areas here. which is rather significant, okay? You may just be taking your time if you've been in a relationship that broke up to get into another one. Again, my suggestion with Eros and the Starborn here is that you not ignore a good prospect that you're highly attracted to. I don't know, be open to the luck of the universe or something like this here. Give me this, hold on, let me pull a different deck. I want this Temple. You know, you may be judging yourself in regards to the home, or again, you guys may have something regarding a real estate investment or other foundation here if you're not married, or a change in that, okay, that was rather emotional or something of this sort here. If you face the split up of your own parents and you're young and you've never had a live-in, you know, this could be reflective of a divorce of your parents that you're very emotionally wrought over or something of this sort, okay? Especially if you felt like abandoned by your father, or like your mother felt abandoned by your father or something of this sort here, or there were some issues in that front, okay? I do feel like you guys are made a move towards greater stability here, okay? And there's something here very external. If you are in a period of heightened career or something like that, where you want to make a move towards greater stability and drop manipulation in your own life, okay? However that happened, or disillusionments that you had, some of you may literally go through some sort of body or soul mind cleanse of some sort here, okay? Or just dropping, you know, I don't want to say the F shit, but the F shit, especially if you were running around or a lot or too much or something like this, that you're really made a move to really hone into yourself rather than the exterior for evaluation, okay? Especially with this first seventh house access popping like this, I feel like there's a real, like, you are the pearl here in the seventh house. Like, if you have faced breakups of partnerships or something like this, like, you're finding a lot of wisdom internally right now, which is especially healing, as well as if you have been through a breakup, going to be very healing for you and who you draw in on the next relationship here, okay? Some of you may have tried to get it back together with an ex and it didn't work out as well. That can happen with Uranus going through the seventh house, or, you know, but some of you may have somebody that comes in, like, that's very independent, all right, and self-sufficient, that comes back around, or some sort of reconciliation or something. Others of you may have, again, had some sort of breakup, you know, which can happen with Uranus going through the seventh house anyways, okay, since it entered or something of this sort. And you may be preparing yourself on an emotional or spiritual level for a relationship again, okay, even if you're not ready to date, something of this sort. And I would definitely suggest doing that, because for some of you, I feel as if you may have somebody quite significant come in, all right, over the next year, or meet somebody that could be very significant to you here, all right? And on this one, I do, you know, you may feel indecisive about, again, home is popping up here on this 8th house, which again can be tied in when you're dealing with divorce or major breakups or something of this sort. You may feel like at a place of indecision about, you know, working on things, or, you know, and some of you may be engaged in really, really working on your house, but like unsure how to set up your legacy or something like this here, okay, that's been in a phase of indecision. But I see you tapping into a lot of healing here in that, on those second, what you value in personal relationships, as well as people, as well as is going through some sort of healing and cleansing process now. Okay, and Pluto is your modern ruler, and it's going through your second house, all right, and opposing your eighth house. Some of you may have lost, again, a parent or somebody significant, or lost somebody to a divorce or a breakup, okay? For others of you that have not, you just may be really reevaluating what it means to you and really working hard on creating your own legacy right now, okay? I want this sustainer here. You've popped with the Eight of Pentacles like twice, so I do feel like whatever you're working on for the Scorpios that are resonating here, it's going to be, you're going to become a master at it. You're going to be, no matter how successful you are now, you're going to be able to take your craft to the next level. And I do feel like you need to pay attention to the 3rd and the 11th house as to how to do that, or for secrets, or look for beneficial influences coming through those houses for you, okay? That may be unexpected, okay? What is this sustainer here? Again, I feel like some of you either lost somebody or had breakup of family or something that you felt very emotionally out of sorts about, like if you were a caretaker, okay, especially if you were a caretaker to somebody, there may be some truths. And again, with you know, these issues can feel very large right now, okay? There may be some truths or something, you know, or the loss of someone here, or emotional issues that you're dealing with here, Scorpio, where your emotions have felt out of balance due to a loss, or 6th, 12th house access issues that you're really in a phase of healing and from the inside out right now, due to old traumas or pains, or a breakup, okay? You know, hold on a second. Why is him in here? I do feel like there's been some sort of completion, either through death or a breakup here, or something of this sort. I have the Lovers. I have the Lovers, the 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. And there may have been some choice here about a delayed ending, or a choice to end something, okay? And it may be in regards to you holding things together if you've taken care of everybody else and not yourself too long, or we're in a caretaking position, or we're in a relationship where everything was just all about the other person all the time. That you maybe burn out from that, from burning the candle in both ends, and you know, that may be affecting your mental, spiritual, or physical health, and that you're fully aware. If it was, the Scorpio that's popping up here is actually doing a lot to reinvest in themselves, okay? And it's shining, okay? So take that as it resonates, okay? Take that as it resonates, all right? Let me give some final advice from the universe for my Scorpio, which I don't always do on these 12 houses, but I do want to do that for you guys on this one. I'm pulling a different deck to do it. Especially with the South Node right now, it's all about, because it's in the middle of your sign, it's like all about change, and there's some sort of catharsis going through, as well as challenges and beneficial aspects, okay, to the South Node. So there is some like redo, okay, that's kind of rooted with you, and bringing all the talents from the past and all the lessons from the past into the future, okay, in some way that's rather huge, okay. They're snipping on me. Hold on. Too many. One more. You're letting go of old heartbreak, okay? I do think that if you have had a relationship that was painful, or you weren't able to, or you had a failed love relationship or something like this, you are going to get victory after heartbreak, okay? Whether that comes from being able to redo the relationship you're in or finding a new love. There is going to be a significant victory after a previous heartbreak that's popping up here. That's rather significant. Okay. And for some of you, you just popped with the Queen of Cups. All right. The Three of Swords, the Two of Cups, Six of Wands, and Death. So there is something about transformation that's just super, super big here. And it may be that just the transformation of you from the old to the new. But, you know, there is going to be, for those of you that haven't had love for a long time or had something that went south, there is a potential for a turnaround or a potential for a new mate to come in here. All right. And the advice from the universe is to let yourself transform. Okay. You have the Death card as your major arcana right here as the final card in your advice, which is gorgeous. Okay. You shouldn't have any problem actually doing that as long as you accept that it can be a reality within yourself, and then to let yourself transform, which you have no problem doing. All right. I hope you guys are doing great. I'll see you later, Scorpio.